and just let us have fun out there. And I feel like when we're having fun, that's when we're at our best.
What do you learn from a game like this that you can apply in round 2 and hopefully beyond that?
I think we just, learn that, everything for us starts with our energy and our vibe, and we can't, wait for us to hit a big three or for us to get a defensive stop to, get our energy going. I think the energy is the precursor to everything that we do. So just knowing that going forward, we just got to start with that. Thank you.
How you doing?
What up?
Stevie.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Not bad.
I'm doing great now.
I'm sure you've been asked this a bunch of times already, but just what was the message in the locker room like at halftime?
The message was just, go out there and just play our way, bring our energy, lead with our energy, and stop worrying about the score, stop worrying about, what people may be thinking, what the outside, just focus on each other, focus on playing our way offensively and defensively, and bringing our energy.
Were there any nerves at the start, anything like that?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I'm nervous before pretty much every game, and when I'm not nervous before a game is when I typically, struggle in the game. So I was definitely nervous, probably going to be nervous every single, but once the ball goes up in the air, all the nerves kind of go away, and you're back to playing the game you've been playing your whole life.
You started off the second half like hot. Just how useful was that in terms of getting it going under the blowout?
I think, just like I said, leading with our energy. That was my goal. I mean, I didn't come out at halftime being like, oh, I want to, get a layup and then an and one. I just came out, okay, I'm gonna, be myself, EGB wise, energetically wise, and let everything else take care of itself.
And then yesterday in his presser, Shaka mentioned you guys have like poker chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poker chips. Do you have any on you? Do you bring them to games?
No, we put them in a pot before the game started, just signifying all in. We're gonna live with what we got, and we like what we got. So. Yeah.
Do you bring the pot to here with you, or is it at the hotel?
No, it was here. I'm not sure, but we had it in our huddles and stuff like that. But I'm not sure where it's at right now.
How does sort of remembering what worked well for you and what didn't help you guys improve throughout this season?
I think it's the same thing that we've been doing all year, just learning from each and every game, games that we win and games that we lose, because we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So there's always something you can learn, that you can do better, or that you did well that you can continue to do. So I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Do you have like a favorite poker chip or something, like a favorite thing that you've remembered that you've seen on a poker chip?
Well, basically our poker chips are pretty much all of our games from the year, and so the score, wins and losses, the score is on the front, and then the message something we learned from that game is on the back. So I mean, I can't think of a specific one, but each one is unique, and they're all chips in our pocket.
What do you think? What's going to be written on it after this game?
From
today's?
I would think lead with our energy. It would be a good thing. It starts with our energy, and that leads to us being our best selves.
And then another thing Shaka mentioned, he's got this big folder that he has in his hotel room, and you guys all wrote down a bunch of stuff from last year after the Michigan State loss, of stuff you wanted to work on and do better. Is that ringing a bell? Writing down?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you wrote?
I wrote. I think we were banged up at that time. I think TK was banged up that time, and I think, just communicating where everybody was at was something that we could have done better. And I think we've been doing a great job of that this year. And obviously nobody's 100%, so just letting everybody know what you're feeling, where you're at, so they can encourage you to, give it your best and give it your all.
This year you've been hampered with injuries. Pretty much the whole team. So does having sort of remembering that you wrote that and keeping that as a message, does that instill confidence that even when you get knocked down, you still know who you are?
Yeah, and I think that, the pain that comes from, the pain you feel in the locker room after the season's over is worse than any pain you're going to feel in your body during the game. So I think that just having that mindset just, gives you the will to go out there and just leave it all out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you.
I have one or two questions.
Let's do it.
For you, coming into this game, March, it's a crazy place. We've seen a lot of upsets happen. So how do you make sure in these first opening rounds that you don't underscout or undervalue the opponents, no matter what their name is, no matter what their story is?
I think that it just starts with knowing that every team is in this tournament for a reason, and that neither team is entitled to winning. We're not entitled to winning. They're not entitled to winning. And just knowing that whoever moves on is going to be the team that went out there and was better that day. So just, focusing on that and just, I mean, at this point, you just respect everybody you go against. And, like, you know, our demise is never going to be that we didn't respect our opponent because, you know, respect 94 is something we've been doing all year.
And I think the final question for me is, you're at the high of this win. It was a crazy comeback win. You know, a lot of good things to happen in this win. But how do you like lock in knowing you're playing again in just a couple of days? How do you make sure that you come down from this high and you really lock in for this next game?
I think that you just, you know, remember the pain you feel. Just knowing that in the NCAA tournament, only people care about is the present moment in the game that you're in. Like, this game is over with. I mean, we'll go on our phones, probably get some praise, you know, people saying good job. But, I mean, the next game against whoever wins that game out there is the only game that matters and the only game that people are going to remember in that moment.
You're at the podium there in the press conference, your coach and players said you guys had to change the looks on your faces. Is that literally true? And if so, what were the looks before and what were the looks after?
I think before, you know, the look was just kind of like a blank look, just a look of like looking at the scoreboard, just a look of worry, and instead of a look of decisiveness and a look of confidence. And I think in the second half, we were able to all, you know, just, you know, have the eye of the tiger, like, you know, people say, and just like put that look on their face. You know, it's different for everybody, but everybody got locked in. And when you just look around and see people engaged and focused, it just gives you more confidence to do what you do, knowing that your brothers are going to do what they need to do too.
How much did you take it on yourself maybe to get things going, especially defensively in the second half?
I mean, TK tells me pretty much every time we're struggling that I need to, you know, make a play defensively to get us going. It doesn't have to be a super play, just an energy play to get us going. So, I mean, when, you know, you get challenged by one of the best players in the nation like that, it makes you, you know, okay, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to bring energy. I don't know if I'm going to, you know, score. I don't know if I'm going to get a steal, but I'm going to have energy, and whatever that leads to, that leads to.
Did you guys come out of locker room a little earlier than you usually do? Like, you seem like you were out there.
Yeah, no, it was just, I think they add 5 minutes to the halftime.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's just normal talk, and then we went out there. But it was a long time, so I actually just went to chill for a little bit, so I didn't, you know, get off my legs a little bit.
But what were the discussions between the players in the locker room when you guys were just down 7?
It was, you know, that we were okay, but we weren't okay at the same time, that we needed to, you know, step it up. And just get back to doing what we do and stop worrying about, you know, what the score is. Just letting what we do take care of the score and just go out there and have fun.
How nice did it feel? Like, when did you, just playing alongside Tyler again, when did you feel that old groove back again?
I mean, he started the game off hot. He hit 2 threes. So, I mean, his presence was felt right away. And then, you know, you just feel his presence even more down the stretch when big plays need to be made. And he's either passing it to Can, hit a 3, passing the job, hit a 3, or, you know, getting a bucket himself, getting an and 1. So I think his presence felt throughout the game, and it was great having him back.
How can you tell when Cam's really got it going?
I can tell when he has it going by his vibe and his energy, and I think that's why he's been doing well all season, because his vibe and energy has been in good place. You know, I feel like he's a little underrated defensively. I think he does a good job on defense with his hands and, you know, talking and being in help. So I think all that leads for him to, and when he's on that, I mean, the offensive, obviously we all just see it becomes easy for him. There's not really anybody who can stop him when he's in that mode.
What did you think about BG hitting some big shots? Like, I think he hit a 3 to end a rally in the first half, hit that 3, I think broke a tie in the second half.
BG's actually, like, I've been peeping it, but he's been hitting clutch buckets all year. Like, we need a 3, BG hits a 3. Like, in the Big East tournament, he hit a bunch of clutch shots. I've been peeping it all year, but, I mean, we all have confidence when that ball goes up in the air for him to make the shot, and, you know, just the work he puts in, and he's 6'10", so it's like, they might not expect it, but we know it's good.
That crazy 3 that you hit right before you went out, how did it feel? What was going through your mind when you banked it in right at the buzzer there?
I mean, it was actually intentional because of the angle. So I shot it at the backboard, and, you know, it went in. That was the first 3 I made tonight. The second one I shot, but it felt good, but it actually was intentional. I did try to bank that in. I don't know who's going to believe me, but